They mad because you don't want to sit at their table. You don't want to sit at their table. You was never at their table. You may have went to the table and seen what they was feeding each other and was like, oh, hell no. I don't want to sit at this table. I don't want to sit with y'all. I don't want to be seated with y'all. I don't want to be next to y'all. Now, let me explain what that looks like. Your family is in a coven, and this is what they do. They fuck over each other. And then they act like nothing never happened. Nothing never happened. Nothing is going on. They literally, my daughter's so loud. They literally sit there and fuck over each other, lie, steal, manipulate, gaslight, sleep with each other, man, and then they regroup. Like nothing happened. These are clones. They don't have a conscience. The only conscience they have is to kill, steal, destroy, and fuck over people. Now, let me give you an example of what that looks like, because God done brought it to my forehead as I was just sitting here doing what I do. This is what that looks like, right? So, me and my sister, we have different dads, right? My dad, I have 2 other brothers. No, I have 3 other brothers. But this is what the coven does, right? My sister started a rumor about her own mother not knowing who her baby daddy was. And nobody said a goddamn thing. Nobody said a goddamn thing. Now, even if my mother told her, I don't know, because she had to, you know. She confided in my sister that she didn't know who my dad was. Why would my sister take that and drag it out in the streets? Because this is what they do to each other. And then they regroup and they become best friends and they act like nothing ever happened. And this is the reason why you choose not to fuck with these people or be stuck with these people, because they're mentally disturbed. They may be book smart, but they're not common sense smart. They may be computer smart, but they are nowhere near common sense smart. So my mother said she didn't know who my dad was, and my sister ran and put that all in the streets, that her own mother did not know. And she did it so that she can benefit from it. Now let's run it up. Let's run it up, because it's finna get juicy. This is why my sister told everybody my mom didn't know who my dad was, because she wanted to be with my brother. She wanted to be in a relationship with my brother. She actually had sex with my brother. She actually had intercourse with my brother. She was in love with my brother and did not want my brothers to be my brothers, because she wanted to fuck on them. I can't have no big brothers because you want to fuck. This can't be my dad because you want to fuck. I promise you, the women in my family, they're like, what's that dude name off of Forrest Gump? Bubba with the shrimp. Dick Shrimp. Dick, Taya. Everything is about meat stick with them. Everything. They wake up and they just see little meat sticks jumping up. You know how I say the cow jumped over the moon? They just see little meat sticks and they count them. 1, 2. They got gumbo, they got dick soup, they got dick hands, they got dick hairstyles. Everything is about with them. Everything. Dick Hennessy, dick nails, dick fish, everything. A dick car. That's all they think about. That's all they dream about. If they could go and get them a basket and go pick dicks all day, that's what they would do. A little one, a small one, a medium, a tall one. That's all they care about, the women in my family. That's all they care about. And they will do whatever. They will say whatever. They will knock you off. They will knock you down about some meat stick. She went and told everybody in the streets my mama didn't know who her baby daddy was, just so she could convince my brother. That's not your sister, so it's okay what we're doing. It's okay that you like me. It's okay that I like you. That's not your sister. That's not your sister. Convinced my brother so much to the point where he seen me one day at the store. I forgot who I was with. I think I was with my auntie or something like that, y'all. I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I went in the gas station to buy me a little piece of candy or whatever, and he came up behind me, and I was like, hey, and I said his name, and he looked at me. Now, this is my brother. My dad brings him to my house every other weekend to see us, to spend time with us, while him and my mama go in the room, whatever. This nigga done grew up with me for the last, I met him when I was like 6. So 7, 8, 9, I done known him for 3 years as my brother. Like, you come to my house, you sit with me, you be in my face, like, but now I see you out in public, and he looked at me like he did not even know me. So fast forward, I'm an adult now, and I confront him about that situation. I said, why did you do that? Why did you act like you didn't know me at that store? And he was like, because I didn't know if you was my sister or not. We was waiting on a paternity test. Your mom and your sister said that they didn't know if you was my dad's daughter. It does not matter. No, you tried to disown me. And I thank you for that. I thank you for that, because y'all is the family off of that movie Wrong Turn. That's y'all. That's y'all. So I'm glad you disowned me. I'm glad my sister was able to get in your head and in your pants. And guess what? My mother didn't have a problem with it. But the rumor came from her own daughter. And what do? Regroup. Act like nothing happened. And see, that's what they wanted me to do. They wanted me to regroup and pretend as if my mother wasn't the one behind orchestrating everything in my life. They wanted me to pretend like she wasn't a Mason. They wanted me to pretend like she wasn't doing dark magic on me. They wanted me to pretend like she didn't just do a death spell and it backfired and she passed away. Now they want me to come to the funeral and pretend. And I said, no, you can pretend. But I know exactly why my mother just passed away recently. Because she threw black magic. She did a death spell. So I will not be attending her funeral. I will not be playing. I will not be going back under sedation. I will not be going back under your little hypnotism. I won't be doing it. This is what it looks like. Nobody ever, made my mother carry her weight of the things that she did. It was always me to carry. You know, it wasn't, oh, my mother smoked crack when she was pregnant with me, so, you know, I'm special, leave me alone. It was as if it was my fault she smoked crack. See, she a crack baby. She a crack baby. But they did not pick on my mother for smoking the crack while pregnant with me. I was picked on for what my mother did to me while I was in her wombs, but God had me protected the whole time. The whole time. They never made her take accountability for what she did. It was, I'm the crack baby. Ha, 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 ha. You a crack baby. You a crack baby. Mama smoke crack with you. It was done to make me feel some type of way, but make her look like an angel. And now they see why. You don't want to sit with them. You choose not to be a part of their weird family. They lie on each other. They steal from each other. They kill each other. And then they regroup and act like they didn't just send Magic out to kill him. They regroup, act like he's not sleeping with his own granddaughter. They regroup, act like they're not incest. No, they're not incest. They're, you know, the granddaughter just lives with the granddad. They're not having a relationship. You know, he has a very hard time keeping it in his pants, but he can keep it in his pants with his granddaughter. That's not questionable. This is what they do. They blame the wrong people, and they make innocent people carry other people's burdens and crosses. My mother called me in the room one day, cussed me down out like a dog for something my dad did. And I was like, whoa. This is what they do. This is what it looks like. She called me in the room. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Oh, you know your dad's sleeping with his stepdaughter? And I'm like, no, how would I know that? Like, I don't even talk to her. I don't even talk to my dad. I don't know. Oh, you motherfucker, you did it. She cussed me as if I was my dad. Instead of getting him on the phone and expressing to him what she feels, she say, no, I'm gonna make this your problem. And then when I get around him, I'm gonna act like I don't even know, and I'm still gonna, you know, enjoy him sexually. And it's like, what the hell? What the hell, Leontay? And I'm sitting back watching these people do this. She literally, that's what she said. You know your dad sleeping with his stepdaughter? I said, no. And she just, boom, 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 what the fuck you, daughter? I'm like, just standing there like, Like, I was never like moved by these people. I just was like, just watching them. Just watching them crash out, watching them cuss themselves out. Like she cussed me out for a smooth 20 minutes, easily. Like my legs literally was hurting like from standing. I'm like, can I pull up a chair? No, you gonna stand. Like she would make me stand while she sit. Cuss me out for a smooth 20 minutes. for something my dad is doing with his private part. And then, lo and behold, not even a week later, I come home from school, that truck parked in a motherfucking park where it's always parked. They in the room tearing it down. Like she didn't just cuss me out for knowing the truth. This is what they do. This is what it looks like to you because you don't want to sit at their table. You was never at their table. You was never there. You was never a part of their table. Any little thing, they ready to blame you. They want to hold you accountable when you was just in your mother's womb, swimming around, backstroking, eating whatever she was eating. You had no control, but now they want to pick on you. It's not, oh, you know, my mom did this when she was pregnant with her. Let me protect my sister. No. That's another thing they did. They went out into the community and told everybody that she's a crack baby. Yeah, she's a crack baby. And my mother was down with it because it wasn't putting her down. It was putting me down. And this is the way that they think. And they can't unthink it. You know what I'm saying? They can't unthink it. They can't, excuse me. They can't undo it. It's all about with the women in my family. All the way down to my daughter. She told me one day, Mom, how am I ever going to have a boyfriend when you look like how you look? How am I ever going to have a boyfriend when you're this beautiful? How? How am I ever going to have a boyfriend? I said, baby, if you bring your boyfriend around me and he's into me, that means you need to get rid of him. Because he don't have no business being into me, or he don't have no business looking at me like that. But that's the only answer that I had at the time. Like, it'll be easy. I told her, it'll be easy for you to find the love of your life then. Because you should have a man that say, yeah, your mother is beautiful, and you're going to be beautiful just like your mother. When you get her age, you're going to be beautiful just like her. And that's it. But for you to feel like, for my daughter to feel like, with me existing, with my features and my face and my body, she won't be able to have a boyfriend in life. She became very dangerous. Very dangerous. She said, I gotta take you out. If I plan on having a man, you can't exist then. That's basically what she told me to my face. That's what I read. Her mind. Because that's what she was saying. How am I going to have a love life? And she's so bold when she speaks. Because that's my daughter. She's so truthful and honest. Even if it's bloody murder. She said, how me ever gonna have a relationship when you look as good as you do? In order for me to have a relationship, You either can't look like that or you can't exist. Let me get this right. This is my ex-family I'm talking about. They the family off a wrong turn. And I had never heard that before. I never had felt that energy before, but that's the same energy of all the women in my family was feeling. And this is what they do, and then they get mad because you don't want to go back up under hypnosis. You don't want to act like nothing happened. And then another thing, what they do is when they get mad at each other, they call me. They call me and be crying on my shoulder about what the other one did. They done stole some money from me, right? And I was supposed to split the money, right? And my daddy ran off on them, right? He ran off and went and bought his stepdaughter's son a 4-wheeler. I think it was like $500. Oh my God. Put my brother boxes in a wad. You hear me? All him wads his boxes up. My brother called me. Yo, daddy done took $500 and went and bought his stepdaughter, not even his real daughter, not even his real grandson, a 4-wheeler for $500. And then they get quiet, and then they wait on me to respond, and I'm on the phone laughing. Y'all don't understand. I have gotten some of the best laughs in my life knowing these people. Oh, they wanted me to get mad. They wanted me to get upset because my daddy ain't never gave my children $2. Ain't never bought them a pacifier, a wipe, a sock, nothing. You know, so and they do things like this, so they feel like I'm the ace in the hole, or I'm they bullet in the chamber. They on their last clip. You know, they'll bust me, and I'm gonna come through kangaroo style. No, I said okay. Ran off on the blood twice. Steady calling, I ain't calling back. I'm like, okay. All right. I said, you're going to be all right. You want some of this too, old man? No. Think I'm finna go fuck around them people? No. No, let him do what he gonna do. Let him do what's being done. Like, that's when they wanna include me. When they steal something from me and they all supposed to disperse it, and then they'll fall out, and then they'll regroup. They regrouped, and they'll get each other back. They only regroup and come back together to plot on him. So that's what they did. They waited for my dad. He was in a vulnerable situation. His wife divorced him because she found out who he was. And so my dad needed somebody to pay his bills every month, because that's what his wife would do. He don't know how to pay bills. So instead of asking me to be in control of his finances, instead of asking the one that doesn't steal, instead of asking the trustworthy door for, he opted for the the off-brand, not even tied to our family. He opted for the succulent off-brand, and he asked my brother's wife to be in charge of his finances. Make sure, you know, the money gonna come on this card. All you gotta do is make sure my car note is paid, make sure my lights stay on, make sure my cell phone bill get paid, make sure my, you know, he put her in charge. Baby, she robbed him blind. And what he did, got on that phone with me. They out here picking up my car. The repo people out here picking up my car. They say I ain't paid my car note in 3 months. Ooh. I said, oh. And I put your sister-in-law in charge of paying my car note every month. And they said, oh, I'm 3 months behind. I say, well, ask them if you know, make a payment now, a partial payment, you know, tell them not to drive off and call your car lot. Ask them, can you make a partial payment right now? Say, how much is your car payment? $550. Oh, shit, that's high. Okay, but ask them, can you make a partial payment of whatever you have? $450, $350, and that might, you know, stop them from towing it. So he did, and he was like, okay, I was able to keep it, and you know, they worked out a plan with me and stuff like that, and da da da. And guess what this Negro turned around and did? Because see, they do spell work on each other, they hypnotize each other, they battle each other with finances, and then they regroup and act like nothing happened. So I was able to help him not get his car repossessed that day, only for this man to turn around and they did the same thing. They didn't make the next payment, so it relapsed and went back into. So what he did was just gave the car to my brother. And I didn't have a car at all. My brother's wife had a car, and my brother had a car that my dad had gave him as a wedding gift. So they had 2 vehicles. And at that time, I didn't have a car. I was walking and catching the bus. And so he turned around and he said, okay, well, it's back and forth, you know, the repo people looking for it. So he gave the car to my brother to have until the repo people found it. This is what they do. And then they regroup and act like nothing happened, get together, have a barbecue, throw magic at each other, and they act like nothing happened, and then they feel like, how dare you not want to be a part of this? How dare you? Do you see how we fuck over each other? Do you see how good we live? These nice cars we drive. How we get to live and go where we want, do what we want. How dare you? I have been trying to get away from these people ever since I was a child. Ever since I was a child, I've been trying to get away from these people. They literally would torture and torment me. I was a very quiet child around them. And my sister would fuck with me all day. She'll swear to God on a stack of Bible, she never did this, but when my mother went to prison, we would kind of just moved around a little bit, but we really stayed with my sister's dad at the time, which is a full-blown alcoholic. He's a good man until he have a few drinks, and then he turned into a monster, and he was very abusive. And my sister would just come to me throughout the day. I would be quiet in the corner, just minding my business, praying, and you know, like this nightmare would be over. Like, where the fuck am I? What's going on? Like, so I was very quiet, and she, throughout this day, right, she was just like, oh, you're so quiet. You're such a good little girl. I'm gonna let you choose the movie tonight. And I just would look at her, and I wouldn't say nothing. And then like 2 hours later, she would do the same thing. She would be like, you know, you so quiet. I'm gonna let you choose the movie. Like, I'm gonna let you choose the movie that we watch tonight. Like, this is what they do. They're trying to hypnotize you into thinking that they're gonna help you. This is what witches do. They try to hype you up into making you think that they're gonna help you. So before, you know, they have to create this illusion, and they want you to live in it. They want you to be in it. And I just didn't go into it. Like, I did not believe her. I just was like, I just didn't say nothing, and I kept nodding my head. And she was like, you're so quiet. You're such a good child. I'm going to let you pick the movie tonight. She did this throughout the day, every other hour. She came to me about 4 times that day before nightfall came. And when nightfall came, that's when my family wanted to sit down in front of the TV and watch scary, horrifying movies, people being ripped to shreds, blood splattering, people running. They did not want to watch. They did not want to watch this stuff during the day. And these are kids. My sister is 5 years older than me, and my brother at the time is a year older than me. They didn't want to watch it during the day, only at night. So as soon as the nighttime falls, she was like, I know I said I was going to let you pick a movie, but I lied. And she clicked it on that goddamn thing, and I went to freaking out. I did not like scary movies. I did not like them. They, as a child, they like freaked me out. They scared my spirit. And I remember like her and my brother started holding me down and holding my head and making me, you know, look at it and watch it. And I had ran out the house, and I told her dad on her and stuff like that or whatever. And he had got on to them. But that's what, you know, sitting at their table looks like. And they're mad because this isn't the table that you want to sit at. These are not the people that you want to associate yourself with, because for one, like I say, the women in your family, it's all about. It's not about nothing else.